Lunging is different than groundwork. Our groundwork program is a lot different than what most people think is groundwork. A lot of people think groundwork is touching their feet, brushing them, lunging them. You know, a lot of people think that's groundwork. My groundwork is direction change in all 5 body parts. Okay, so I need to make sure that I've got control of all 5 body parts on the horse, standing right here on the ground. But having a horse focused on us is the biggest thing. We talk about groundwork. Groundwork is key for me. I want to be able to, the very first step is I want to be able to send this horse's shoulder that direction without having an explosive reaction, okay? I'm going to start out using the least amount of pressure that I can. Start off super light, only gradually increase pressure if needed. Very first thing I have to do is make sure that I give a horse a direction to follow. The first thing I need to do is make sure that I can get that shoulder just to move over. That's it. Overreacted, but that's it. Let the horse sit and think about that, and then hopefully I don't have to use as much pressure the second time. Just let him think through it. Watch yourself so you don't get ran into. Think through it. All I need him to do is follow that feel. There we go. There we go. And then I'll shut him down right there, because I don't want him thinking that that meant it's time to run, okay? All I'm asking is, can you put your shoulder over there and do it quietly and calmly? That's it. So he had a big blow up. There we go. Boy. Blow up. But the more consistent you are with this, there we go. If you're consistent with your cues, then he will start getting more and more consistent with his responses. Your main goal with a horse like this is keep him focused on you at all times, and that's what we're trying to accomplish right now. This is the very beginning of it. This would be like groundwork 101, not lunging, sending, but not sending with explosive and reactive outbursts, basically. Thank you. And then as soon as he wants to start getting in that robotic state, that's a good opportunity for me to yield the hindquarters. One of the things that you have to make sure that you do, this is your responsibility. You need to be set up. You have to have all your ducks in a row before you go and ask him for something, okay? I'm going to make sure that he understands he has to stay out of my bubble. So I'm going to ask again, one step. The thing that I'm seeing is he's starting to use the thinking side of his brain more, not the reactive. So that time when I asked him to go off, he was a little bit smoother, and he took like 4 or 5 more strides before he broke up into a trot. As soon as he broke up into a trot, I just brought his nose to me and looked at the hindquarter and yielded the hindquarter. I don't want him to keep thinking every time pressure is applied on me, I need to go to the reactive side. That's what you're probably dealing with him. He doesn't understand that when there's pressure applied, it does not necessarily mean that I have to have that great big explosive reaction. So the more things you do like this, have you ever heard the phrase less is more, slow is fast? Okay, that's exactly what you got to do with him. You got to be extremely methodical with him, okay? You've got to get to the point where you take it one step at a time. And by doing that, those steps are going to get quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. You're going to gain a ton more ground than if you sat here and tried to lunge him and lunge him and lunge him, trying to get him tired. He's an appendix bred horse. They don't get tired. They get more frantic the less air they have. So I like that one right there. So I gave him an opportunity. And I also, because of what we did in there, I like how he just did that. Instead of climbing on top of me or taking a step towards me, when he got done with that turn, he leaned back. He didn't step, but he leaned back. That's a start, right? And same thing with, can you just walk? Can you just chill out without blowing up? So that was almost a full circle without him blowing up. So now within just a few minutes, he's already following feel and he's paying attention to me. I'm going to help him with that hindquarter a little bit. I don't like that. He kind of wanted to trail off a little bit. There. I like that. I like that. Back up. I want you to back one step. Thank you. So keep this in mind. A horse can feel a fly land on their back. All right. So they can definitely feel every single thing you do with this. So if this one was between my hand and his chin or his face, if I just did this trying to get things ready, he's going to be going, where am I going? Where am I going? Where are you telling me? So you have to be very, especially with a horse that's this reactive, you got to be very methodical, very correct, very precise. The more you do this, the more comfortable he'll get, the more he'll stay on the thinking side of his brain. And as you do that, what's going to happen is all those problems that you've been having are going to slowly start dissipating because he's going to stay on the thinking side of his brain.